Ikea, the Swedish furniture giant, is known for its affordable, assemble-it-yourself furniture, but recently they've been cutting prices even further. This isn't a celebratory sale, it's a sign of something much bigger, a struggling economy. Take a look at some of their price cuts. An 18-piece dinnerware set, once $49.99, is now $29.99. A glass bookcase went from $229 to $189, and a bed frame that used to cost $549 is now just $499. These are big discounts on everyday items. IKEA's CEO admitted that the past 6 to 8 months have been their slowest ever. People simply aren't spending as much. To stay afloat, they're slashing prices to attract cash-strapped shoppers, hoping to entice them back into their blue and yellow embrace. Consumer spending is down, and that's a big deal. It's one of the main drivers of economic growth. When people stop buying stuff, businesses hurt, and when businesses hurt, the economy hurts. But why are people tightening their belts? Well, for starters, things are just more expensive. Inflation has been eating away at paychecks, leaving people with less money to spend on non-essentials. Remember that bookcase? It might be cheaper, but your rent just went up again. It's not just about inflation, though. People are worried about the future. They see news about layoffs and a potential recession. They hear whispers of economic uncertainty. In times like these, it's natural to be more cautious with your spending. You hold on to your money a little tighter. You think twice before buying that new couch, even if it is on sale at IKEA. IKEA isn't the only one slashing prices. Other retailers are feeling the pinch too. Michael's, the arts and crafts store, is cutting prices aggressively. They're even aiming to revert prices back to 2019 levels. That's a significant rollback. H&M, the clothing retailer, is also getting in on the action. They're anticipating lower prices by the end of the year. It seems everyone is trying to lure customers back in with the promise of a bargain. This race to the bottom is a worrying sign. It shows just how desperate retailers are to move their products. They're willing to sacrifice profits to stay afloat, and while lower prices might seem good for consumers in the short term, it's not sustainable in the long run. If businesses can't make a profit, they can't stay in business, and that means fewer jobs, fewer choices, and a weaker economy overall. Two key indicators of economic health are jobs and energy use, and right now both are flashing warning signs. Unemployment claims are rising, reaching their highest level since August 2024. That means more people are filing for unemployment benefits, a sign that the job market is weakening. Energy use, particularly gasoline consumption, has also fallen significantly. This might seem counterintuitive with gas prices still high, but it actually points to a deeper problem. People are driving less because they can't afford it, and businesses are cutting back on transportation costs. In May 2024, U.S. oil demand was at 2017 levels, and gasoline usage was comparable to 2013. That's not growth, that's stagnation. When people and businesses use less energy, it's a sign that they're cutting back, hunkering down, and bracing for tough times. It's a clear indication that the economy is sputtering, not surging. The hiring freeze thaws, layoffs loom on the horizon. Remember the hiring freezes that companies implemented last year? Well, the ice is starting to thaw, and what's melting isn't optimism, it's job security. Businesses are now considering layoffs. They held on to workers for as long as they could, remembering the struggle to find employees post-pandemic. But the economic reality is setting in. Companies are operating leaner, cutting costs wherever they can. And unfortunately, that often means letting people go. The household survey, which tracks employment trends, shows a slight shrinkage in employment over the past 7 months. It's a small dip, but it's a dip nonetheless. This shift from hiring freeze to potential layoffs is a worrying sign. It suggests that businesses are no longer just being cautious. They're actively contracting. And when businesses contract, the economy contracts with them. It's a vicious cycle that can be difficult to break. A tale of two economies, conflicting narratives in the real world. Here's where things get confusing. On one hand, you have official reports and data that paint a somewhat rosy picture of the economy. The Federal Reserve, for example, is focused on fighting inflation, suggesting that the economy is overheating. On the other hand, you have the lived experiences of businesses and consumers who are feeling the pinch of a slowing economy. They're seeing the price cuts, the layoffs, the declining sales. They're living the reality of economic anxiety. So, who's right? Well, it's complicated. Economic data can be misleading. It can lag behind real-world conditions, and it doesn't always capture the nuances of individual experiences. The truth is, the economy is a complex beast, and right now it's sending mixed signals. But one thing is clear, the warning signs are there. From Ikea's price cuts to rising unemployment claims, it's time to pay attention. What happens when the music stops? The long-term impact of economic slowdown. The potential consequences of a prolonged economic slowdown are far-reaching and multifaceted. Reduced consumer spending leads to lower business profits, which can result in job losses and wage stagnation. This creates a ripple effect across the economy. This in turn further dampens consumer spending, creating a vicious cycle that is hard to break. Government revenues also take a hit during economic downturns, potentially leading to cuts in public services and social programs, which many people rely on. Investment in infrastructure and innovation may decline, hindering long-term growth prospects and technological advancements. Moreover, prolonged economic hardship can exacerbate social inequalities, leading to increased poverty and social unrest. Communities may become more divided. The middle class, already squeezed by rising costs and stagnant wages, may find it increasingly difficult to make ends meet, affecting their quality of life. The long-term impact of an economic slowdown is not just about numbers on a balance sheet. It's about people's lives, their livelihoods, and their hopes for the future. It's about the dreams that are put on hold. It's a stark reminder that a healthy economy is essential for a healthy society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Beyond Ikea, a global perspective on economic uncertainty. While Ikea's price cuts serve as a tangible example of economic headwinds, it's crucial to recognize that these challenges extend far beyond one furniture giant or even one country. The economic landscape is shifting, and businesses across various sectors are feeling the pressure. The global economy is interconnected, and economic slowdowns in major economies like the United States have ripple effects across the world. When a major economy stumbles, it can lead to reduced consumer spending, lower investment, and a decline in global trade. Emerging markets, often reliant on exports to developed nations, may face reduced demand for their goods and services. This can lead to slower growth, higher unemployment, and increased economic instability in these regions. Global supply chains, already strained by geopolitical tensions and disruptions like the pandemic, could experience further instability. The fragility of these supply chains can lead to delays, increased costs, and shortages of essential goods. Geopolitical factors such as the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and rising tensions between major powers add another layer of complexity to the global economic outlook. These conflicts can disrupt trade routes, increase energy prices, and create uncertainty in financial markets. Uncertainty and volatility are likely to persist, making it challenging for businesses and policymakers to navigate the path forward. Strategic planning and adaptability will be key in managing these unpredictable times. In this interconnected world, economic challenges require global cooperation and coordinated action to mitigate risks and ensure a sustainable and inclusive recovery. Only through collective effort can we hope to build a resilient global economy. The future of consumption, navigating a changing economic landscape. The current economic climate presents an opportunity to rethink our consumption patterns and prioritize sustainable practices. This shift is not just a necessity, but also a chance to innovate and create new ways of living that are more in harmony with our planet. As resources become scarcer and the environmental impact of our choices becomes more apparent, a shift towards conscious consumption is imperative. This means being more aware of the life cycle of the products we use and the footprint they leave behind. This involves supporting businesses that prioritize ethical sourcing and sustainable production methods, ensuring that the products we buy are made in ways that do not exploit people or the environment. Reducing waste and embracing circular economy models, where products are designed to be reused, repaired, or recycled, is crucial for minimizing our environmental impact. Making mindful purchasing decisions based on need rather than want can significantly reduce unnecessary consumption and waste, leading to a more sustainable lifestyle. Governments and businesses can play a crucial role in facilitating this transition by implementing policies that promote sustainable consumption. They can set regulations that encourage companies to adopt greener practices and support consumers in making eco-friendly choices. Investing in renewable energy and green technologies is essential for reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and mitigating climate change. These investments can drive innovation and create new economic opportunities. Providing incentives for consumers to adopt eco-friendly practices, such as subsidies for electric vehicles or tax breaks for energy-efficient home improvements, can accelerate the shift towards a more sustainable economy. The future of consumption lies in finding a balance between economic growth, social well-being, and environmental sustainability. This balance is key to ensuring that future generations can thrive. By embracing a more conscious and responsible approach to consumption, we can make a significant impact on the health of our planet. We can navigate the challenges of a changing economic landscape while building a more equitable and sustainable future for all. Together, we can create a world where prosperity and sustainability go hand in hand.